Hey guys, so about a year ago I wanted to come on here and I wanted to film a video about why I stopped being a minimalist, and then this summer I decided I kind of want to come on here and film a video about why I want to be a minimalist again. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my journey and why I felt one way a year ago and why I feel a different way now. But first, let's just define the word minimalism. To me, a minimalist isn't someone that only owns 10 things. I'm just meaning kind of not having excess, doing without sometimes, not having a million toys for my kids, but just having a few things that we really like. And for some people this will look different than others. For me, that will still always include a lot of books. And for example, when I was kind of at the height of my minimalism phase, we still owned a lot of dinner plates because we hosted a lot of suppers. So, I mean, what minimalism is to one person will be something completely different to another person. But what I just mean is living with less, not having an excess, and reducing clutter really is what I'm meaning here for minimalism. So our journey kind of started when we were adopting my son. We were kind of purging the house, also trying to make money to fund his adoption. So I was selling all the things. And that kind of jump started the minimalism phase for us. We wanted to sell stuff to have money for the adoption, and also we were moving kind of right before we went and got him. So when you're moving, you want to get rid of as many things as possible so you have less to move. That was kind of another part of it. And when we moved into this house, I fully embraced the minimalism thing for quite some time. My kids didn't have a ton of toys. Our living room was very bare on purpose, and I liked it that way. I liked the less clutter. I find visually, if there is a lot of clutter around, my brain is really full. I found over the years that I am a highly sensitive person, which pretty much just means my brain tries to take in all the information and sort it, whereas some people are really good at blocking things out. My brain's not so good at that, so minimalism is actually really good for me. So I enjoyed it for the period of time that we were minimalists. I'm really using that word loosely here. But then it came to a point where I was just getting frustrated. Because if you're in the minimalism world at all, or you hear people talking about it, you'll always hear them say just if you're not sure about a thing, just get rid of it. You can always buy it back, you won't miss it. And you guys, I missed things so many times. I would get rid of something and then a month or two later I'd be oh, why did I get rid of that? Or even 6 months down the road, maybe I got rid of something that wasn't in season at the time. And yeah, so that whole you'll never miss it thing is not true. And the whole you can buy it back at the thrift store, not always true either. So I got really burnt out on minimalism when I wanted, some of the things that I used to have. And I gotta say, part of this is our lack of family planning in our home. When we initially were going to adopt Ephraim, before we knew who he was, we had been open to a child up to 3 years old because my daughter was 4 at the time, and so we just wanted younger than her. And we assumed, apparently incorrectly, that because we were open to an older age range that we would get someone older, because we know lots of people that wanted as young as possible, and we weren't really interested in that. So I was pretty certain we would get a 3-ish year old, and we got an 18-month-old. And there's a big difference in the things that you need for an 18-month-old and the things that you need for a 3-year-old. So I had already gotten rid of a lot of the things that we needed for him, so we needed to rebuy a lot of stuff. And then we thought we were done with kids, so we got rid of everything and we started fostering. And we said 0 to 4 with fostering, and we got a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old. So, we bought a lot of things again. And then we kind of started getting rid of some stuff. Last year, about this time, we had a little girl, and she was 6 months old, and we were yeah, we don't like this baby stage. We're not going to do this again. And guess what? Earlier this year, we said yes again. So this is very much our own fault. No one could have predicted this. God has written a different story than we had expected. But we've gotten rid of so many things that I wish we would have kept. And I mean, you can't keep all the things, I know that, but I feel I've rebought the same things multiple times over. So that's been a little bit frustrating. All that to say, I kind of now feel I'm in the space where I'm ready to embrace this again. I still don't know where our child situation is going to be, but I'm even scared to say this. I think that we will like not take a kid under 1 again, probably not under 2. I don't know if I want to say that out loud because then you know it might happen, but like that is so not our strong suit. We are like not baby people, and we had made an exception because BB-8 is R2-D2's sister and blood relation, and like, you know, you want to keep siblings together, but I think we're done with babies, I think. So I'm kind of ready to like start getting rid of some of this baby stuff. That was actually one of my goals I set in January, was to get rid of baby things, with the caveat that like if we got R2-D2's sister, you know, obviously that would be a switch, and then a month later we got her. So but now she's almost a year, so there's a few things we can get rid of, and I'm feeling good about that. But I'm once again just feeling kind of like the overwhelm. Like if you know kids, what they like to do is just take all the toys and like scatter them everywhere, and I don't want to clean up that many toys every day, or nor do I want to see that much every day. So I feel like I'm ready to, you know, purge, declutter, and kind of like start afresh. Other than just kids things, I haven't gone through my closet, especially in this last year and a half. It's been kind of weird where you couldn't really shop like you normally could, and so I was scared to get rid of anything because it's like, well, what if I need this, or like, I don't know, it was harder to buy things. But now that things are pretty close to normal-ish here, I feel like I can like finally shop, fill out my closet in the gaps that I need, and then like get rid of all that rest, all the stuff I've been holding on to. I'm not sure if I want to like share my like process back to minimalism, and it's not going to be the same. Honestly, it's not going to look the same as it did like 5 years ago. We have nice big bookcases. I like them. They're going to hold a ton of books, but I'm going to try to make sure that it's books that I love. And I'm going to, you know, we have more kids now than we did 5 years ago, so obviously we're going to have more stuff. But I just don't want my house to look cluttered, and I'm like looking around right now because I have stuff that I can get rid of, need to clean up and like organize, and I want to do a better job kind of like just going through everything once again. So I guess this is kind of like my maybe accountability. I don't know. I really don't know if I'm going to make this into a series where I share like what I get rid of, how I declutter. I have no idea. But it's just kind of like, okay, here's where I'm at. Here's where we came from. Here's where we went. Here's where we're at now. Kind of like circling back around. And I just thought it would be cool to like document this stage maybe in another 5 years when I'm like, why did I get rid of that? It's all because of this. So I would love to hear like kind of like where you are on the spectrum. Do you like to hoard a bunch of things? Do you like to get rid of everything? And what are the benefits for each? Can you guys hear my daughter and her friends? They're just giggling in the background. I think it might be coming through a bit. That's what's going on. Yeah, so let me know if you like to collect all the things or if you like to have less things, and let's chat in the comments.